Hey, Ray and Jessica here from TTP Laser. I'm Ray.
I'm Jessica.
You think you already knew that?
Maybe.
I'll bet Rich is out there going, that's not Ray. Ray doesn't wear sleeves.
Yeah.
See, what Rich doesn't know is that Canada's a little bit different. In Canada, it's actually illegal to bear arms. Okay, today we're here to do the video that you guys have all been waiting for, how to align your mirrors. We're going to do this in 3 parts put together, because one thing that people don't always understand, and the reason why people have problems with aligning their mirrors, is they don't understand aligning your mirrors and adjusting your mirrors is 2 separate things. Adjusting your mirrors is something that we're going to do the first time when you set up your laser machine, and it can take some time. It's not a quick process, but once you've got your mirrors adjusted, I promise you in the future, and you will have to align mirrors again in the future, but in the future you'll be able to align your mirrors in probably under 5 minutes. Very simple. The key is to adjust your mirrors from the start. So let's get started.
Alright, so to get started, you're going to need a few things. First thing you want to get is some pliers, number 4 and number 3 Allen wrench, some kinetic sand, some aluminum foil, and some tape. Okay, so now we are going to adjust the pulse power to prevent the tape from flaring up when you pulse. So you're going to come to your controller, press the power button. We'll bring you to this window here. Let's bring it down to 40 for each window. So press 40 and then down, 40, down, 40, down, 40. Now you can press enter and that is saved.
Okay, we're going to cut up some masking tape and some aluminum foil, and we're going to cover the aluminum foil with the masking tape. And we're just going to go ahead and do several pieces before we get started, so that we don't have to interrupt and come back and do it again. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the side panel off the left side of the laser machine using your number 3 Allen wrench. There's 4 screws. We already took them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take this panel off so that we have good access to the first mirror here. Next, your number 1 mirror is kind of buried in here. What we're going to do is we're going to cover the mirror with the aluminum foil and secure it with the tape. Now, rub your finger around the mirror so you can see the contour, so you know you can see the circle of the mirror. If you have Sharpie or something, you can actually trace out the contour. And next we're going to pulse the laser. Now that you have your mirror taped up, we're going to close the lid of the laser, turn the chiller on, and go ahead and pulse your laser. Just press pulse quickly. Okay, so you can see here that the burn mark is way off to the left side from where the circle is. So for the first mirror, we're just going to dive right into, forgetting about aligning, we're going to go to adjusting, and I'm going to explain to you in 1 minute what adjusting means. So using the axis on the left side of the laser machine, you'll notice there's 4 screws at the bottom of the pedestal holding the mirror. So you're going to loosen those 4 screws with the number 4 Allen wrench. And because the laser beam was way off to the left, we're going to move the pedestal back to hopefully line it up. We'll try it right there. We'll snug up the screws and we'll try the pulse again. Okay, now that we've got the first mirror mount moved, We're going to go ahead and put fresh tape over top of the mirror again. You don't have to take the first one off. It's already got tin foil on it, so you don't have to add tin foil every time. You can just keep piling the tape over top of the tape. So let's go ahead and pulse and see how we're doing. Okay, that looks like it's perfectly centered. So you can tighten your mount there. In the event, now we're explaining left and right, in the event that your burn mark ended up high or low, we're not going to adjust this mount for the height. What we're going to do is you're going to go to your tube and you're going to raise or lower the tube. So for height adjustment, you're going to loosen this screw and use the knurled knob to raise or lower your mirror. It's important when you do that you do both ends evenly.
All right, so Ray got the dot in the center of the first mirror. I'm going to do the second mirror. First thing you're going to want to do is take the tape off your first mirror and then move the second mirror all the way to the front of the machine. Then we're going to take our tin foil and tape and place it over the hole. Again, rubbing the contour so you can see where your beam is going to hit. All right, so our pulse is off a bit to the right. Now we're going to go ahead and make those adjustments. So for aligning the second mirror, you're going to make the adjustments on your first mirror. So you're going to come back. We have each of these thumb screws, each have a locking nut, so you're going to want to loosen them before you get started. Ours are already loosened, so the top thumb screw is for moving your beam up and down. You turn clockwise to move it down and counterclockwise to move it up. The bottom right side is the diagonal. We're not going to be using that one. And this one here is the left and right. So you turn it clockwise to go right and counterclockwise to go left. So we're just going to go ahead and make our adjustments. Our beam was a bit off to the right, so I'm going to move it left. Okay, you can still see our first burn mark that is off to the right. So after I have made the alignment adjustments, we're going to do a pulse again and see if we're closer to the center. And we are, but I think we went just a tiny bit too far, so I'm going to go and adjust that back. Okay, so we put a fresh piece of tape over. Now we are going to pulse again after I made another alignment change, and we're going to see if it's in the center now. And it is. So I'm going to go ahead and take a pen and I'm going to mark an F here so that we know that that is the front. Now we are going to move the second mirror to the back of the machine and pulse again. So now with the second mirror at the back of the machine, we're going to pulse again to see if our beams overlap. All right, so we have a perfect mark. Our marks are on top of each other. If they are not, then you will have to go back to the adjustment phase.
Okay, good job, Jessica. So I kind of want to say we got lucky, but I almost wish that it was out. You're going to find probably 99% of the TTP lasers, the gantries are actually set perfectly. There's the odd time where if it's a rough truck ride on the delivery that they can move, but I'm going to take this opportunity to explain to you anyways how to adjust, not align, your mirror mount in the event that the two dots did not line up. So you have 4 screws here. For aligning from first to second mirror, we're going to ignore these two. Don't touch these two. We're going to loosen these two, and just like we moved the pedestal for the first mirror, we can slide this mirror forward and backwards. So what's going to happen is If your mirror is off to one side, you slide the mirror mount. After you slide the mirror mount, you need to realign to the center again. That means putting fresh tape, going through the part that Jessica explained, move your gantry to the front, align to the center, bring it to the back, hit your pulse again, and see if now your dots line up perfectly. In the event that the height is not lining up, then you're going to have to go back and adjust the height of your first mirror by raising or lowering the pedestal, and at the same time you're going to have to raise or lower your tube.
Alright, so now we are putting a fresh piece of tape on our second mirror, and we're going to get our pulse again. Okay, so now we're going to go to the back of the machine. As Ray had mentioned, there are 3 parts to this video. The third part is the red dot alignment, so we're going to go do that now. Okay, so at the back of the machine here, this is your red dot pointer, and this is the screw that holds the diode in place, so we're just going to make sure that it's nice and tight before we get started. And ours is good, so we're good to go.
One thing that I want to point out, a few customers have mentioned that their red dot pointer is missing the hole, and they see that it's reflecting on the back of the laser here. Now that's 100% correct. The reason for that is you have a transparent mirror that the red dot reflects off of. So it's transparent because it needs to let the laser beam pass through it, and that being the case, your red dot will also pass through it this way, hit the metal on the back, but it's also reflecting off of it and aiming towards your first mirror. So it's 100% fine. Don't worry about that red dot.
So to align your red dot pointer, you're going to use these 4 screws and your number 3 Allen wrench to make adjustments as needed. The goal is to get the red dot over the center of your burn mark that you just made.
Okay, so I'm going to be Jessica's second man helper here, and she's going to make the alignment changes, and I'm going to tell her when we're centered. So Jessica, go ahead and lower the red dot pointer. Stop. And perfect. All right, we can move on to the next phase. All right, so working on the third mirror, what's really important when you're working on the third mirror, and anytime that you pulse your laser, it's important that you turn on your air bypass switch. Now, of course, we have the auto air assist, which means your air will start when your design starts, it will stop when your design stops. But in this case, we're not running a design, so we want to bypass that and just turn the air on manually. So our air is running now, and that's going to protect our third mirror from getting any kind of debris on it or smoke.
Now moving to third mirror alignment, we are going to take the tape off of the second mirror and come put our aluminum foil and tape over the third mirror, which should be at the front right corner of your machine. So we'll put the tape on, rub the contour again, and now we'll go ahead and pulse. All right, so our beam is off a bit to the left and just a little bit too low. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the second mirror to make the alignment change. And just like the first mirror, this moves up and down, left and right. So loosen up the locking nuts so that you can go ahead and make the adjustments you need. So ours is a bit down to the left, so I am going to first move it a bit right by turning it clockwise. Slight adjustment will do here. Now I'm going to make it go up by turning it counterclockwise. All right, let's go ahead and give that a pulse. Okay, I'm going to put a fresh piece of tape over my third mirror so that we can get a nice fresh pulse mark again. So Ray, go ahead and fire the pulse. Okay, well that is pretty perfect to me. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark this so that we know this is the front right corner of the machine. If yours is not in the center, then you can go back to make the alignment change on your second mirror. So now we're going to bring the third mirror to the left side of the machine, staying in the front. We're going to pulse again to make sure that our dots are overlapping as they should be.
Okay, Jessica, go ahead and pulse the laser. And it looks like our beam is still perfectly lined up. It might be a little bit high. It's definitely within the acceptable range. And the important thing is that the dots lined up perfectly. So that means that we don't have to adjust. I'm going to explain to you one more time because we're talking about the third mirror now. If the beams did not adjust, I'll move over to this side so we can see the red dot. If the beams did not adjust, now if it's left or right, you're going to have to move these two screws to slide this forward or backwards, and then you have to go through the whole process again of moving your head to the right, put fresh tape on it, align the beam to the center, bring it back, pulse it again, see if the dots line up. Alright, now we're going to go back to the red dot pointer. Move your laser head all the way to the right side of the machine. So you're now in the front right corner. I'll zoom in here a little bit. And you can see our red dot is off a little bit. First thing I want to do though is I want to make a clean burn mark. So I'm going to take the tape off and put a fresh piece of tape on. Now we're going to go ahead and pulse it again. Alright, and now we want to move the red dot pointer so it hits the center of the burn mark. So Jessica's going to go ahead and move the red dot from the back. Go up a little bit, back, and to the left. Other way. It's a little bit difficult doing the red dot pointer because you've got 4 screws instead of 3 and down. Oh, stop right there. Okay, that is perfect.
Moving on to our final step, we are going to test the pulse in each of the 4 corners of the bed. So Ray's going to go ahead and put on a fresh piece of tape. And pulse. Looks great. Looks good. And there we have it. All 4 corners are aligned perfectly. If yours did not line up, then you have made a mistake somewhere and you'll want to go back to the beginning and start over.
Okay, so that was a daunting task. It can take hours the first time you set up your laser machine. Now you're going to see a lot of people are going to say they have fought with aligning mirrors for days and weeks, and some people give up. Some people say it's absolutely impossible to get perfect alignment. It's not impossible. The key to perfect alignment is adjustment, adjusting your mirror mounts so that they are perfect. If you have them adjusted, you'll have no problem. Now yes, this probably took you maybe a few hours to get through this video to get it done the first time, but here's the nice part about it. Now that you have your mirror mounts adjusted, in the future you'll easily be able to align your mirrors in less than 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you how. Follow me. It's as simple as this. Now that your mirrors are aligned, all you need to do is, now that your mirror mounts are adjusted, all you need to do is move your second mirror to the furthest point, to the front of the laser machine. Align the mirrors using the 3 thumb screws till you hit dead center. You don't have to bring it back and pulse at the back again. All you have to do is hit dead center on your second mirror. Then you come to the second mirror, adjust your 3 thumb screws until you hit dead center. Again, move your laser head, always move it to the furthest point. Hit dead center from your second mirror alignment, thumb screws, and it's as simple as that. Now, we finished this project. Don't forget, take your pliers, go back and tighten all of your thumb screws, the locking screws, nuts. Be very careful when you do that not to turn the thumb screws. Okay, so that takes care of mirror alignment. Next we're going to do third mirror alignment vertically. That's going to be a separate video. Alright, and that's our video on aligning mirrors, and hopefully you guys got through it okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the TTP channel for more videos to come.